How do you deal with rain on a wedding day? Well, the absolute easiest, best answer is preparation ahead of time. When it comes to weddings, I understand that budgets are important and you have to stick to them, and sometimes you have no choice, but definitely investing in a permit to shoot somewhere indoors if it rains on your wedding day is not a bad idea at all. We have a list of places within Hamilton. I can send you a link to that if you want to see it. Maybe I'll link it down below. And it's all different places that you can go within the Hamilton area if you need a photo permit or you need an indoor space to shoot if it's raining on your wedding day. Whether or not you live in Hamilton, if you're down in Niagara, somewhere GTA, Kitchener, Waterloo, London, there's always places in there that you can shoot indoors. Some will let you do it for free, like a coffee shop, but be aware that coffee shops tend to be very small. So if you're bringing a party in, especially if there's guests or other patrons there, that could be really cozy and not always a great idea. Different places like certain libraries will let you shoot for free if you go in there, depending how big of a city or small town they are. But definitely the best thing to do is ahead of time to call any place that you're considering having as a backup. Go through the process with them if you have to. Usually photo permits don't cost more than $200. $200 is like on the high end. I think $100, $125 is kind of more your average. $50 might be on the low end. And even though that's an extra expense, for the peace of mind it gives you, you will be so thankful if it rains or the weather is bad on your wedding day that you have this backup location. Work with your photographer, your videographer to see if they have any suggestions for you. Again, if Hush Hush is the person you're going to hire, we have a ton of suggestions pretty much always. But yeah, confirm, because not all indoor spaces are equal. Some are much better than others, and you want to do what you can to choose a good space that's going to lend itself really well to your photos and your videos if you need to shoot inside. Beyond that, let's say it's your wedding day, you have no time, you didn't watch this video in time, and even though if you're watching this, you probably haven't been married yet. Anyways, let's say it's the day of your wedding, you have no backup location, no permit, and you have no choice. One of the first things that we'll do is shoot inside the church or the venue where you got married. If you get married in a church, usually churches are pretty, or at the very least they're open. Usually we can bring some extra lighting and try to do what we can within that limited space, especially when it's photos of just the two of you after we're done with the party. There's a lot you can do in very limited spaces, sometimes with just the right window lighting or shooting in interesting hallways or different things like that. But yeah, definitely the place where you tied the knot is the first place we'll start. Next to that, if that's not available, if there's anywhere kind of outside that's like sheltered or has some sort of awning or roof that keeps us out of the rain, that's always a very good backup location after that. If we can do it, great. Sometimes that's just not an option. And then the third backup is just to go to the reception hall and shoot there. Usually, you know, for the most part, whether you're getting married in a barn or you're getting married in a big reception hall somewhere in the city, usually there's a space somewhere, whether it's literally just kind of near your head table or it's somewhere else in the building, maybe it's a different room. There's always a way to make it work. It might not look exactly the way that you've hoped and planned, and it might stress your photographer, your videographer out a little, but we can pretty much make anything work. And that's one thing I always try to cement with the couples that hire us, is that we are really good at walking into an environment we've never been in before, kind of looking and being like, okay, what do we do with this, and just making it work. So make sure you hire, I would say, a photographer or a videographer who is very confident, who has the same mentality we do, that they can show up anywhere and they will find a way to make it work. Because when stuff hits the fan and you have no choice, you want to know that you are in the hands of someone you can trust that is going to take care of you, that is going to help you find a really good place to take photos, to capture video, despite the fact that it's not the most ideal circumstance.